last time on GNM Sports Time. Shut up, Jelani. We're going to predict all the wrong games. Okay, and we're back. It's back and better than ever. That was a great recap. We put together. We really edited that. Lots of hard work and effort.
I was wondering where you were going, but then it all linked.
It all comes together. You knew I'm a genius, so it just doesn't matter. So let's get right into the games. Yeah.
So recap.
Recap time, baby. NFL Week 3.
Out of ideas already. 4 weeks into doing this.
Always. So, I guess we'll give you our records first. I went 8-8.
7-9.
And I think our consecutive. Yeah. I think our joint picks were 1 and 5. It was really bad. It was not good.
But I mean, how can you just predict the Bills are going to beat the Vikings in Minnesota?
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Alright, so let's start from the beginning here. So obviously, first game Jets Browns, we were live casting that for you, everyone.
Bud Light fridges in I don't know what the Cleveland Browns stadium is called, but they were open.
No, either.
They were open.
They were open. The dogs.
Some Browns fans got pretty hype.
Yeah, I mean, as a Jets fan, not really happy. Was kind of accurate in saying that Sam Darnold was going to throw 2 picks. He did. Both in the fourth quarter on drives that we really needed him to not do that on, but he did. So I don't know. I guess whatever. Good win.
Baker Mayfield came in. He won the game.
He
He tore apart that Jesse, but I'm not sold on it. People are saying yeah, this is what they drafted Baker for. He's gonna be the next Drew Brees. I don't know, but he played 3 quarters of football. Let's just calm down, guys. Let's give him a full start and see what happens.
He surprised us. Okay. Let's get that.
Saints Falcons. This was a shootout.
Yeah, I think we predicted it was a shootout. I mean, it wasn't really done how different than we predicted. I'd say.
Other defense is insane. Well, the Falcons, they were good, but they're riddled with injuries. We'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, for the Saints, Drew Brees had one of his best performances.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it really was a vintage Drew Brees performance, and the offense is carrying that defense. But that defense just is now very much starting to concern. Maybe
they were good last year, and then they got Marcus Davenport. Has he played or what?
He has. He just has not done anything really. Man. He's starting, but he just hasn't been. And they gave up 2 first-round picks for him, so it's
yeah.
That's been a very bad mistake on the Saints' part.
And not like a Bradley Chubb, for example, who's been very productive.
We'll get to your Broncos in a minute, okay? Then we have Packers, Redskins, which of course we both picked Packers in that one. So yeah, that was a big no. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was in, but it just didn't matter apparently.
I wonder if that injury is actually really affecting his play this much, because the Redskins are not an elite team by any means.
Yeah, I mean the team is awful without Rodgers, but I also don't know if maybe this is just how the Redskins are. They're just gonna come out and win a game they just completely shouldn't against a team much better than them, or if maybe it's that as you said, Rodgers is injured and that's why. I don't know. But it's it's a big loss for the Packers because the NFC North is close now.
Tough division.
It's one.
The Lions are no slouch apparently.
Yeah.
They'll lose to the Jets and Matt Stafford will throw 5 picks, but then they'll go and beat Tom Brady.
That everyone is 1 game within either position in that division. It's very close. No one's coming out ahead really far so far.
Next game we got Colts Eagles. I had the Colts here because Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty cool guy.
It's a close game. I mean, Carson Wentz didn't really have anyone though. Jay Ajayi was out, Darren Sproles was out, Alshon Jeffrey was out. It was kind of he didn't really have much to throw to or help him. But at the same time, they probably should have done a little better against the Colts. So.
Yeah, defending champ Eagles, who are supposed to repeat, that like everybody had them as the favorites to repeat this year, are not looking like it. Yeah, it's Carson Wentz's first start, but
I mean, I think
they should have a more decisive win against a team like the Colts.
They're definitely a playoff team, but I mean, their division, and because their division just isn't very good, but they're definitely a playoff team. So it's a matter of can they come together and really put together the season like they were having last year. I think.
This one was fun. Bills Vikings.
In
Minnesota.
I'm not blaming that on us at all. I think no one had the Bills win this game. This was the Vikings.
That's like Bills Mafia.
This was like the classic, like whatever they like to call the trap game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what experts like to call the trap game. I guess it was just a trap game. I mean, that must have been one hell of a trap though, because I mean, I just don't know how they did. They made Josh Allen and like that Bills offense look good. They just made him look good along with the rest of that offense, which is awful.
What's really crazy to me is that against the Rams, a better defense, Kirk Cousins played very well, but then he only puts up 6 against the Bills.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, their defense though has been very bad. Though I think I was watching the Rams game Thursday night. They were talking about how like I think they've let up 20 points plus for the first time in like 2 or 3 years. Like in like 3 or 4 consecutive games, that's like the first time in like 2 or 3 years. So this Minnesota D is not living up to expectations. Right?
They played great week 1 though. That's Jimmy Garoppolo. I remember that. Got pick 6.
I mean, but besides that, it's just they haven't been playing well the past like.
Yeah, it's not been good, especially for someone like me who owns them in fantasy.
Yeah, it's been very much concerning about their Super Bowl hopes when they can't, they don't have their defense playing like how they should.
I don't know, man. With Mike Zimmer, I think they can get it together, and that offense looks pretty dangerous.
They're kind of the same position as the Saints right now, I feel like. Kind of like very good offense for the most part. I mean, obviously not this game, but even seen in Thursday night, very good offense, but like the defense, which was very good last year, all of a sudden is disappearing for weeks at a time.
They got to get Dalvin Cook more involved.
They do.
They did not do much at all.
4 carries, it was something ridiculous like that. It was and then even Thursday night they didn't get involved enough. They're not using him, and he's a huge weapon on that offense.
Yeah, they don't really have an offensive line to block for him, though. That is true.
They don't, but even still, he's a very good back. Like we saw that even for his couple of weeks, like last year. I mean, he's a very good back. They should be using him more.
Raiders, Dolphins. The Dolphins, they're still undefeated, right?
They're 3-0 in the AFC East,
what a strange time we live in.
It is 3-0, and then all the other teams in the AFC East are 1-2. It's a very strange.
Let that sink in.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill.
The Bills and the Jets have the same record as the Patriots, and the Dolphins are 2 games ahead of the Patriots. And there's a big game coming up tomorrow, so we'll talk about that a little later. But yeah,
Dolphins special teams has been so good.
Yeah, they have, and their defense has been pretty solid too, from what I'm like remembering. They played pretty well against the Jets, solid against the Titans. The Titans, and then they had like a pick 6 there too. So, special teams and defense, you can win.
They matter.
They do matter. You can win a good amount of games on that, So we'll see if they can keep it up. I mean, they're facing the Pats, I think, in Foxborough, so.
Not looking good.
If they win that game, then we can start talking very seriously about the Dolphins making playoffs and maybe even more. Because the Pats, even if they're struggling, are the Pats. And, yeah.
It's not easy to beat Brady.
Especially at home. So I'm not. We'll see. We gotta talk about that. All right. Now we gotta talk about
those Ravens. So yeah, we took an L here. Not gonna lie.
The Ravens too.
14-27.
Yeah,
Keenum threw a pick. They're starting to worry me. He's throwing too many this season. That's 6 on the year.
Yeah, it's your offense, buddy.
But no, it's not the offense actually. The defense. We got dotted up hard. We could not stop Flacco.
I told you Flacco was gonna come back after a rough week. He can't.
I told you Flacco was going to be good this year.
I said in the game, picking this game, I said
in our preseason prediction.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Flacco up against the wall.
I'm getting on the train now. I'm getting on a Flacco up against the wall train. Flacco
The conductor.
I know. Well, you hopped off for a minute, so I had a,
now we pulled over. That's all.
We pulled over. All right. Well,
you can get in the back.
Street analogies. Yeah, I mean Ravens. They're looking like a good team. I think I stand by how I said last. I think them and the Bengals. But I was saying them and the Bengals. I think are like potential wild card teams, and I still kind of stick by that.
I don't know. I think one of them could win the division with Pittsburgh not looking what they were last year, and Le'Veon Bell still not on the team.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. I mean, they should trade him, get something.
Yeah, they probably should trade him. But I don't know which team would be stupid enough to do it, and apparently they're asking for like a first-round pick, which they're not getting.
I know the Jets have actually made an offer. I think they're the only team to.
Have they actually made an offer? I was looking, they were saying they may or may not have offered something, but I don't think it was very good. But it makes sense. Also, it doesn't make any sense for the Jets to offer, because he's going to go to, no matter what team he goes to, he's going to go to free agency anyway. He wants to contract, because I'm saying they can't pay him during the season because he'd be on the franchise tag. Because he'd be on the franchise tag, teams cannot give him an extension throughout the season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's going to free agency guaranteed. So even if you trade for him, you may not be able to even give him the money. And then he goes to free agency, and who knows what happens then. So I hope the Jets do not, because then they're just going to end up spending like a third-round pick or a second-round pick on him, and then we're not going to go to the playoffs this year anyway, unless a miracle happens and don't throwing 2 picks a game. God, I'm gonna try and then play the Jets. Whatever.
I've seen a lot of buzz about the Colts trading for him, but that's just sort of like
I think the team
fans and stuff.
Most sense, honestly, is the Packers. It's the only team I'd be like, all right, that makes sense. They definitely should do that because the Packers are
fun.
Yeah, they're a playoff team. They're a playoff team, or at least a wild card team. And if you add Rodgers plus Le'Veon, you give Rodgers an actual really good running game.
The Packers aren't a one-dimensional team anymore.
One-dimensional, not just like between offense and defense, but simply between Aaron Rodgers and everyone else. It is Aaron Rodgers passing and nothing else happens. Just run. They can't do anything like any tricks things. It is just Aaron Rodgers throwing on one leg right now. So
Jimmy Graham's not even helping.
Yeah, he's really not. That team is bad without Aaron Rodgers. That's just honest. Okay, let's go on to the next game.
Panthers Bengals.
Yeah, I was off in my Bengals upset pick. That was a little mistake on that one. I don't know.
Cam is Cam.
Yeah.
And that defense is nice.
Yeah, I think Joe Mixon honestly may have been a really major loss. I may have overlooked that. Although they would have won, but I think it would have been at least a couple points closer because they were running Giovanni Bernard, but he just isn't a runner. And they had no one else to use. And so I think they actually had Joe Mixon to be able to actually run and maybe wear down that Panthers defense a little bit. I think it could have maybe be a different game, but I still think the Panthers would have won. They really did show up, especially Christian McCaffrey. He had a big game.
Oh, God.
He had a huge game.
C.J. Anderson got in one too, right?
Yeah, but I think, McCaffrey, the whole thing.
McCaffrey put up like 174, right?
Yeah, but the whole thing with that, I'm saying the whole thing with him was like people say, oh, he can't run between the tackles.
Yeah.
He finesse pass catching back. He's like a scat back. You can't run him through the tackles. And he ran through the tackles. So you have to give credit where credit's due. People really underrated him.
And definitely ran through the tackles.
All right, next game, Giants-Texans. That was just a kind of a crap show, but one team had to win that game, and it was the Giants.
It wasn't the one we picked.
It was not the one we consensusly picked.
Why would it be?
Not great. Yeah. I guess good for the Giants. They both teams needed to win coming in at 0-1.
Saquon played well.
At this point, Texans are 0-3. I'm not pegging it for the playoffs at all, even wild card. You're not come back from 0-3. would have to be such a turnaround by the team. You'd have to, it would be like the Chargers last year, who started out like 0-3, 0-4, and then somehow came back. But then for every Chargers you have the Giants. Like the Giants last year, they also started out 0-4, and then they won 3 games. So the Chargers like having like a great end of the season last year is not like, it's not the norm, it's an outlier. And so I'm not saying the Texans all of a sudden are going to turn this around.
Deshaun Watson's shown the talent for it, though. He played phenomenal and astronomical in
last year, yeah. But he hasn't been astronomical this year. He hasn't been out of this world. So, if without that and without this defense being, like, as dominant as I think we all expected it to be, I just don't trust it.
You see the new Clemson QB got injured?
Did he really? Oh, Trevor Lawrence?
Yep.
He's really good, too.
Yeah, he was on that Elite 11 thing.
Yeah, I've seen some highlights, too, from like his games. He's a good player. That's a big loss for him. Is he out for a while, or is it just he just got injured?
I don't know. They said a head injury. It was his first start, too.
Damn. That sucks. Alright, next game. Titans-Jags. Another game we consistently picked wrong, so it's great.
Can we not talk about this one? Like, the Titans won, but who cares? It was 9-6.
Yeah, I just want to say Bortles did what Bortles does. He just boils up a game, and it's such a roller coaster watching that offense. Just, are we going to get a Bortles that will throw the ball?
Is Fournette going to play?
I mean, beyond Fournette, it's like, can we get a Blake Bortles that will actually throw a pass and complete it? Or will we get a big Blake Bortles that will throw a 5 pass? You don't know on a week-to-week basis, and I think we jumped the gun maybe on the Super Bowl predictions with them. I don't know.
I just remember when he was coming out of that draft class, people were saying Bortles is the only safe pick here at QB. And look what he has given us.
Not amazing. So, move on to the next game. 49ers Chiefs. That's a little bit of a sad one at the end.
Mahomes is still dominating the league.
Yeah, he's at 13 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, you just can't get any better than that.
We all saw that touchdown.
8 guys. I think he's like throwing at 8 different receivers for a touchdown. It's something like just mind blowing like that. It's like 3 games in the season. Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo got injured though towards ACL.
That's a shame. I mean, this 49ers team wasn't exactly lighting the league up like what everyone predicted, but they were playing solid ball in most games, and were in most games. Like, even the Vikings game, they were in for a decent bit of time, until like that pick 6 really kind of just broke their back. Now obviously they won against the Lions, but Garoppolo out completely ends their season, so hopefully they can, get someone good in the draft and really build around Garoppolo.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Chargers-Rams. This was a pretty good game, actually.
It was. I picked Chargers. I don't know. I had the Chargers. I have the Chargers as like one of my Super Bowl favorites. I mean, the way they're going, I'm not sure if that's really.
The Rams are my Super Bowl favorite. There's no stopping this team.
Yeah, I think they definitely are the favorites now. I have to pick them over the Saints.
Oh, side note, Mahomes jumped over Rodgers in the MVP voting.
Yeah, in the prediction, Vegas's odds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, you can't just give it based on reputation. I mean, 13 touchdowns and no interceptions is like.
It beats out whatever Rodgers is putting up right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Next, we got Seahawks, Cowboys. Neither of these teams is good.
Yeah, no, neither of these teams is that good. Seahawks won. I mean, I'm really surprised the Cowboys didn't win just because they actually have a good defense. And I thought their offense could just feed Zeke. Why are you giving him the ball 16 times? Why are you giving him 16 to 17 carries? He needs 30 carries a game. And he wants it. He's not even like Le'Veon Bell saying, you're going to run me down. He wants 30 carries a game. He wants his numbers. He wants to eat. Feed the beast. Feed the Zeke. Not just because he's on my fantasy team, but that's how you're going to win games offensively. Is if he feeds Zeke, because either Dak is a bad quarterback or Dak just has no one to throw to. We're kind of not sure about that. At least I'm not sure about that one right now. So,
Seahawks getting Doug Baldwin back.
Yes, they are getting Doug Baldwin back. So that's pretty major, but I don't think that's going to really affect much, especially because he's not going to be the same week one coming off an injury, and they have way more problems than just receiver. I
They
feel
do. That whole, those 5 guys that are supposed to be guarding Russell Wilson's life, they're not doing too good either.
Offensive line, I don't think that, well, what is that? I don't think that exists in Seattle.
Yeah.
That's not, there's no vocabulary for offensive line in Seattle.
They got some priorities.
It's just offensive, what that is. Get it? I should hurt myself. So, yeah. Okay. Bears, Cardinals. That was way closer than it needed to be. That was way closer than it needed to be. That was like, oh, Bears, are you really going to drop this one? Is this really what we're going to do? Is this what you're going to do after you betray my trust? Making me think you can actually get wild card, lose to the Cardinals almost? Yeah.
They're good.
I don't know. Their defense is good. I'm not going to doubt that. That defense is insane. That's the reason they won that game. But can Mitch Trubisky throw a ball more than 5 yards? We'll find out next time. Probably.
Does he need to?
Yeah.
Oh. That wasn't the answer I was looking
for. Yeah, no, Packers. Packers game proved that.
Oh, yeah.
Against a good quarterback or a team that isn't garbage, yeah, you need to throw the ball more than 5 yards.
Yeah, possibly.
And also, Jordan Howard hasn't been showing up either. And he's been like one of the most consistent backs for like the past 2-3 years. His yards per carry is like under 4.
Ew.
Yeah, he's not playing well. And it's not like Trubisky's balling out either. So I'm backing up a little bit on that team. All right.
Lions over the past 26-10.
This week was
just good for them.
What the fuck happened this past week?
Nobody knows.
Like, there was 10 games that just shouldn't have gone the way they did. It just didn't make sense how they went, Just, the Lions beat the Patriots. Sure.
Why not?
First 2 games. Okay.
Just throw that in there. I'm not going to complain.
Brady threw for like 150 yards. What is happening? It wasn't even like, the defense didn't play well either, but like, where was their offense? I get Brady has no one to throw to besides Gronk, and I get Gronk was literally getting triple team. I remember one of the funniest things was like they literally had Gronk on punt coverage. They had 2 guys literally just pushing into like the line. It was like the most ridiculous thing. But it's Brady. It's when it's Brady and I'm so surprised. I'm really happy. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm almost like angry they didn't do it.
It didn't make sense.
I'm like, you can't beat us for years and then like lose to the Lions. This is not okay. All right, and then that's all I gotta say. Like, Matt Patricia had this team play a good game though. That defense looks good.
I didn't know that guy was that fat. Like, I knew he was fat, but I saw the clip of him like throwing the flag. He is on the worst side of morbidly obese there.
I have to say that the Detroit defense played really well, and Darius Slay is a beast.
He is.
Darius big play Slay. He's a beastly fellow over there.
He's definitely one of the underrated corners.
Yeah, he's very good. He's a top corner.
Steelers over the Bucks in the Monday night game by 3. Fitzpatrick, he had 3 picks in the first half, right?
Fitztragic in the first half, Fitzmagic in the second half. That's how he does it. But then he still loses. That was when I was like, that's Fitzpatrick. I know.
Mm.
Fitzpatrick. Either he'll like win for a week or 2 and then like have an awful game, or he'll just have a game where he just kind of combines it and he has half really good, half really bad.
All right, let's talk about this. So you're the Bucks. You're going into a bye week for week 4. What do? Jameis or Fitzpatrick?
Well, I think they announced Fitzpatrick started, didn't they?
What would you do? Would you start Jameis?
Would I start Jameis? No. Fitzpatrick until he really screws up. And then Jameis, honestly, the angrier and more, like, motivated Jameis is, the better. That should be your goal right now.
I agree.
Because, especially that front office should be doing that, and the coaching staff should be doing that. Because if Jameis is the answer, it's there cleaning house. Ownership is cleaning house. Their cutter is gone. Whoever the hell that GM is gone. No, they're cleaning house. If he is not the answer, they wasted number 1 draft pick on him. they are cleaning house and then probably completely rebuild.
So something I've been thinking about here is that I don't think there's a definitive worst team in the league right now.
That's true. I mean, the Bills really threw it out of whack.
Exactly. It would be the Bills, right? They just beat the Vikings somehow.
Yeah.
And I could say the Jets, but the Jets have shown glimpses of decency.
Especially on defense.
Titans, maybe, but they just beat the Jaguars. Cowboys, I don't know.
They're 2-1. I don't think 2-1 teams are worse than the league.
Like, I don't even know. I had the Bucks as the worst team coming into the season, but they're 2-1 now.
Yeah.
With wins against the Eagles and the Saints.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I think you have to go Bills and just say that was just a fluke game. I think you just have to go Bills. I don't think you can, because maybe Cardinals. Oh, Cardinals.
Maybe.
1-3.
Maybe.
Yeah, they didn't have a win to their name. I'm saying Cardinals. They found a way to lose that Bear game. So I'm saying Cardinals. I mean, I still believe Bills in my heart, but just based on what we've been shown, I have to say Cardinals. Because they're 0-3 and have not shown any real promise in any game except this past one, in which they completely threw a game. So yeah, Cardinals. There we go. Figured it out. Solved the riddle.
Nice.
Moving on.
Nice. So we do have some injury news here. We talked about Jimmy Garoppolo. He got
ACL tear. Yep.
Unfortunate. Jake Butt, Broncos tight end, also tore his ACL in non-contact practice. Just the worst way to go.
That sucks.
Deshaun Watson
tore his Achilles, so he's out for the rest of the year. That means, they lost their other starting safety in Atlanta, so that's fantastic.
Then, one of the most perplexing stories of the week. William Hayes tore his ACL trying to not put his full weight on the QB.
That was such bullshit.
This roughing the passer rule has gone pretty far. The whole idea of tackling someone involves you putting your weight on them.
Yeah. I don't know where the NFL is going with this one. I mean, it's at this point, it's like, just have it just be a game where just you're throwing passes to a receiver. Why even have any defensive players? Because you eliminate injury.
Like you don't want South Park.
South Park. Oh, that episode we had. Sarcastic. Oh.
Like that's getting closer and closer to what's actually happening.
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer to reality where sarcastic ball is actually a thing. Yeah, where they're like they should just be hugging the quarterback. I mean, a lot of the news people I've seen talking about are like, well, it makes sense because they just want to protect the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks are the most popular commodity, and there's all that matters. I'm like, no, because the quarterbacks matter because they're the most important position in the game. But if the game starts being not fun, and people start not wanting to watch the game because the game is just offense, which yes, people like offense more. I'll say even I like offense more. But if it's just offense because the defensive players, not that they're not talented, but they just can't do anything, then why would I want to watch a game? It's just going to be guys running back and forth, like a track meet. It's not interesting.
Yeah, the whole thing goes back to that hit that injured Aaron Rodgers last year by Anthony Barr.
Yeah,
he laid his full weight on him and he broke his collarbone.
That's the whole thing behind this.
That doesn't call for a rule change where now Clay Matthews has 3 roughing the passers on the season.
That's getting screwed. I mean,
I love that thing where he sacks Alex Smith and he gets the flag and he's just like, oh, come on.
Yeah. I'm not for them, defensive players like headhunting and stuff like that, but come on, you gotta let him hit the quarterback. The whole thing is like, oh, you're hitting him, so, it's a stinger. He has to really want to get back up. He has to, he may be, a little bit slower getting back up. He may be a little bit slower moving around the pocket. And that shows you're playing good. It's a physical game. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying anything where we're close to football players, but, me and our me and Wade, my friend, we play a couple times. You know, yeah, sometimes we'll get injured and we'll like sit out part of the game. But you know, we'll get scraped up, we'll get hit, we'll throw each other to the ground, and we're like, fine, let's go, let's keep on going. It's football, we're having fun.
Yeah, we're definitely harder than those people.
Yeah, definitely harder than the 300-pound men running into each other. But you know, I mean, obviously it's not. There's no comparison, but.
Come on.
Spirit.
That's what we're trying to say here.
The spirit of the game being physical is it's under attack, and to really like it's worrying. Like, where are we going with this? Like, how far can this go before we decide it's okay? That's where I'm at on this situation.
Really, just tragic to see this direction that the NFL is headed. Moving on, though, we've got our predictions.
Yeah, predictions. So obviously, we cannot comment on Rams-Vikings, though we can say it was a great shootout.
Fun game to watch, but the Rams seemed to be in control of that the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, it was very fun. I mean, because honestly, that game came down to the last drive, essentially. The Vikings got the clock with 2 minutes left, and I think either Aaron Donald or Ndamukong Suh got like a strip sack fumble, and that ended the game. They just ran the ball off Todd Gurley. I mean, that game was like Kirk Cousins had a chance to drive on the field tied up. So
yeah, Cousins played great too.
He did. It's just I don't know what. Maybe it's the roughing the passer stuff. Where are the defenses going? Where are all these dominant defenses going? Why are all these games 40-40 or 35-35?
So, yeah. I mean, we could talk about roughing the passer for days.
Yeah, let's continue.
Jets, Jaguars.
Yeah,
I'm going to take the Jaguars because...
Actually, I feel like with our consensus, I'm going Jets. I'm going Jets, not from a Jets fan, just because our consensus...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have fun with that. You justify your logic to pick the Jets over the Jaguars, Sean. You go for that.
I'm picking it because I think it's so stupid it's going to happen.
Okay. I'm taking the Dolphins over the Pats.
Pats, I have to take Pats. Until the Dolphins beat the Pats, I'm not gonna say the Dolphins are better than Pats. I'm taking the Pats.
Texans, Colts. Oh no, I skipped the game. Eagles, Titans. Eagles because Wentz is gonna be in his second game. He's learning his muscle memory. Figure out how to feed his.
I know Ajayi's back, right? Is Jeffrey back? Is Alshon Jeffrey back too?
I don't even know, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm taking Eagles too in that. Yeah. Texans, Colts.
Colts.
Yeah, Colts. Yeah,
Texans have been garbage this season, and Andrew Luck is not.
Yeah, we're going to Texans, and then I'll pick you again. That's why I said last week, and I'm continuing to say that. Actually, we picked them last week. Maybe I said that 2 weeks ago. I'm not picking the Texans again this season. They're disappointing.
Okay. Bills, Packers. Are you going to do it? Do it.
You're tempting me. You're tempting me just so I have a bad record.
Care about your record?
I can't. They're at Lambeau. We said it about the Vikings last week.
Yeah. Yes, to do it.
No.
Pick
the Packers. That's a one fluke.
Do it.
That's why I said they wanted to listen to speak. No, Packers. Go. What do you want to say? Packers. You think Packers do?
Lions, Cowboys.
This is actually a hard one to predict. I'm not sure about this one.
I think I'm inclined to take Detroit, but this could go either way, just because of how inconsistent both of these teams are.
Inconsistent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Shit. I mean, I'm gonna go Cowboys just because of their defense, and I think they're gonna finally feed Zeke. That's my logic. Let's go.
Bucks, Bears. What do you think?
Well, it's a great offense versus a great defense. Though the Bucks, I think, have one of the better run defenses in the league. If I remember,
go with whatever you don't say.
You're gonna go for whatever I don't say on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. They're at Soldier Field. Bucks.
Bears.
Bucks. Okay. Bengals, Falcons. Ooh.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati. I'm picking Cincinnati.
Falcons are way too banged up to win.
Yeah, they're way too banged up, and I think the Bengals, as I said like last week, I think they're a decent team. I think they're a pretty solid team. So I'm taking them. I'm not sure if Mixon's back, actually. If he is, though, then I definitely take them. Anyway.
Seahawks Cards.
Oh. The game with the shitty birds.
I don't know. Because Russell Wilson is Russell. No, Seahawks. He's got Doug Baldwin back. He's got like a concrete weapon there.
Okay, yeah. I see that out there. I'm taking Seahawks too.
But I could see the Cardinals winning this game.
I mean, yeah, because they're at Arizona, and I'm pretty sure Arizona plays pretty good at home too. But no, they're just bad. I mean, Rosen's his first full start, and like rookies just don't tend to do well in general. It's his first start, so I'm gonna take that. Raiders, Browns.
Raiders. The Browns. I guess like the Raiders are trash.
I may go contrarian. I think I'm gonna take the Raiders. They've been because the one stat I saw that really kind of stuck out to me that the Raiders have been leading every game going into halftime. Like so, they've been leading, and their offense isn't that bad, relatively. So I'm gonna take the Raiders. I think if they're at Oakland, I think Baker Mayfield's making his first start, like full start. I think the Raiders find a way to pull it out.
I don't know. Browns. They looked like they were able to do things for the first time in years.
I wouldn't shit on you for that pick. I mean, I'm going with
Jim Brown is the running back.
Their defense is amazing. I'm not going to say it's not. That defense is very good for Cleveland.
Yeah, if they can just rattle Derek Carr a little bit with that pass rush, they'll be all right.
Okay. So you're taking Browns?
Yep.
Okay.
Saints at Giants?
Saints.
Yeah, Saints. Yeah.
Niners,
Chargers.
Ravens, Steelers. Ooh, that's a really good game. That's a close one.
That is a close one.
That's a really close one. I'm taking Ravens.
I was going to say that too. So I'm taking Steelers in this one.
Why are you going contrarian? You don't have to go contrarian. I'm picking Ravens.
No.
Because we got jinx last week and all our, consecutive things.
Steelers are winning this game.
Yeah. Yeah, home, you think they're going to win it? Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough. Chiefs, Broncos, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Did I really choose the Jets over the Jags?
Yeah, you did. You want to take that back?
I'm taking it back. I'm on the Jags.
Okay,
good. Watch them actually win now.
Yeah. It really is just so dumb that it's gonna happen though.
Right? That's what I was saying. Nah, I'm going Jags. I have to retract that pick. Okay.
All right. So in other sports news. Tiger won the PGA Tour Championship.
Yay!
I mean, Justin Rose still finished high enough to win the FedEx Cup, so he won a couple $1 million there.
Got some packages out for free, you know what I mean?
Shipping brands.
Alright.
Yep. Then, we already know. We talked about it last week a little bit.
Yeah.
UFC 229, Khabib versus Conor goes on a week.
Yep.
Khabib is an absolute animal, and when he was 6 years old, he fought a bear.
What?
You don't know that?
Watching this, right? Are we watching this one too together?
Yeah, that's what we're going.
Alright, yeah.
Well, we're not going to.
I'm down, bro. You just said bear and man fighting.
I'm gonna text you the video right now.
Okay. I think. Okay, yeah. I'm suddenly more interested. I mean, it kind of went through a chair too. So we got chairs, bears, and I don't even know. I mean, it's intense. It's intense out here. Alright, we got some college football news too.
Oh yeah, we got some college. I've been watching college football this year,
and
to be honest, I still hate it just because you got teams like Alabama winning everything. Not that I hate Alabama, but they're playing bad schools, so it's not even fair.
Yeah. I mean, I just sometimes see the scores on my phone. I'm just 63 to 2, and I'm just alright.
Okay.
I mean, Tua just makes them unstoppable. I'm not attempting his last name. Yeah, he makes that team unstoppable because they're always good offensively and especially. I mean, defensively they're always the best, and then offensively they're always top 5. But with Tua, they're number 1. So I don't know how you're going to stop that.
He would be the only lefty quarterback if he started in the NFL. That'd be fun to see.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Just like a change of pace from all these. And he's a Hawaiian, too?
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Another Hawaiian.
Alright, let's do some other games to get.
So my horns ranked number 18, off 2 straight wins against ranked teams, and then so they beat Tulsa, beat USC, and beat TCU, and then beat Kansas State, 3-1. The offense looks not horrible, which is just a thing of beauty.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And Oklahoma University quarterback Kyler Murray, he was late to practice one day during the week, so he was benched to start the game, but he actually came in and he put up some college football numbers.
Yeah, I think it's
66 to 33 against Baylor.
I think he had 7 TDs. It's 6 TDs.
Yep.
Either way,
or passing at least. I don't know.
I think he had 7 total TDs. I mean, just crazy game from him. I mean, they've been really good this year, Oklahoma. I remember even just the first game of the year, they were playing that team that went undefeated last year. They're not an amazing conference. I think it was like UCF or something like that, with the guy that used to work at Alabama. And I remember they were like, "Oh, that game's gonna be close."
You're talking about FAU?
FAU, yeah. Well, the guy used to work at Alabama, Lane Kiffin, yeah. I want to say UCF. But yeah, they went like undefeated, and they were like, oh, maybe Oklahoma could lose, and it was like Oklahoma beat them by 40. So they've been like really good to start this year.
Yeah, Kyler Murray did run one in, so 7 total touchdowns. You're right. And number 3 ranked Clemson barely eked out a win against Syracuse. Syracuse was winning going into the fourth quarter.
How is he beating a bear?
Huh?
He's like 5. How is he beating a bear?
Oh, you're watching it.
I mean, it's like a baby bear.
It's not. Yeah, it's a cub. I guess maybe like a little bigger than a cub, but yeah, he's wrestling that thing.
That's crazy.
Russian training methods are insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you've never watched it, but like Russian weightlifters, they pretty much beat them up.
Yeah, and then like in Rocky IV, when like it's Drago, bro. I mean,
that's such a cool movie.
I just like watched some clips from that. That like when Apollo came in the ring and it was like the James Brown ripoff. That movie. Movie just movies, bro. Sorry.
I talked about this earlier, but Trevor Lawrence left the game with a head injury in the second quarter. Yeah. I guess that's probably why they didn't do too good, honestly.
Probably.
And I'm thinking about it.
I mean, he's pretty good. He's pretty good out there. There's a reason they got shipped off Kelly Bryant. Good.
Another sneaky win.
Yeah.
Michigan ranked 14. Barely beats Northwestern 20-17.
I remember I turned on the game at one point, just like kind of flipping through channels, and it was like they were down 17-7, like good bit of, I think maybe halfway through the third quarter. So they were down a majority of that game against Northwestern. Like, they were lucky to get that victory. I thought they were going to lose.
Yeah, and Shea Patterson's supposed to be like one of the top QBs in this draft.
Yeah, he has not been that good. This would be just top QB in college football. One of the top QBs in college football, let alone this draft class. But yeah, he's not shaped the Michigan team like they said he would. So
that kind of brings me to a point. Like, most of college football seems to be based around like mobile QB ability and rushing ability.
Yeah.
But the NFL, it hasn't really translated that way thus far.
I mean, besides Cam Newton, there isn't really a guy.
Yeah. But even Cam Newton has had to tone it back because of injuries.
Yeah.
Like last season, he wasn't the super Cam.
Exactly. That's true. I mean, it's not as much of a running league. They really do want you to pass.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's crazy to me. Like, what's Lamar Jackson going to do when the Ravens give him the reins?
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll see if Joe Flacco gives it up in the first place, I guess.
This season, for sure.
Yeah.
This one was fun to watch. West Virginia versus Texas Tech. West Virginia was up for a while, and Texas Tech started leading a comeback. And then, after a 6, 42-34, West Virginia. That was a really cool one, actually. Do you watch college football at all?
Not really. I've watched like a couple of games. I remember like one game I watched most of, like the Notre Dame Michigan game at the beginning of the season. I watched Notre Dame Michigan. I watched most of that game. I was like, that was a good game. I enjoyed that. But then, like as you say, there's a lot of games where it's like, oh, that was like 66-30.
You know the outcome going into it.
You're like, oh, guys, this team's number 3 ranked in the country, and that team's like, if it was ranked, be like 102. Oh, well, yeah, I think they're gonna lose. I choose them. So, unless you're watching the good games against top 25 ranked opponents, then you're not, in my opinion at least, not really watching games that are like that interesting. Except if you're like a fan of the team specifically, or a really just big college football fan.
Yeah. UT plays Oklahoma next Saturday.
See, like that would be a pretty good game.
That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, that's 2 ranked teams. Like that's going to be an interesting game.
That'd be huge if Texas wins that.
Well, yeah, I don't think they're winning that. Oklahoma, I think, is like just a powerhouse. I don't think they're winning that one.
Kyler Murray's just been great.
Yeah.
The last point on this script is that Alabama continues to curb stomp every team in existence.
I think I talked about that, yeah.
It's not fair. It's just not.
It's not. I mean, isn't Nick Saban retired of this stuff? I mean, like, I feel like
that's why I think he's the greatest coach in football history.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for years.
It's just like constant. And like before he showed up, they weren't like that. They weren't like a dominant team either. For like a good amount of years, they weren't like as dominant.
Like Nick Saban, when he's recruiting guys, he can just straight tell them, "Yeah, we're gonna be in contention for a title."
Yeah. Oh, Notre Dame just beat Stanford too. I think there's a minute left, but they're up like 38-17 with the ball. So that game's over. And Penn State's up 26-14 Ohio State. So those are 2 really big games. Both games with 2 top 10 teams. So that's pretty major. Yeah, Notre Dame won that. And yeah, Ohio State, Penn State's in the 4th quarter. Halfway through, so. LSU, man, killing Ole Miss. That should be the one we should talk about. That's a surprise team this year. LSU? Yeah, they've been killing it, man. They've been like a bunch of top-ranked teams, and no one expected them to be good this year.
Ranked 5.
Like, I think their quarterback's a transfer quarterback that wasn't like that great, that people weren't saying that was that good. They're number 5 in the country. They beat some good top-ranked teams. I think they beat Auburn, didn't they? Yeah, they beat Auburn. Didn't they beat Auburn 2 weeks ago?
No idea.
I'm like, then they beat Auburn. That's Louisiana Tech. Auburn. They did beat Auburn. That's right. A field goal kick.
Well, I'm about to send you a screenshot here. So I just looked at the box score for that LSU game, right?
Yeah.
And it says running back L. Fournette.
Wow. That's not right.
That's
yeah. See, they beat Miami week 1 and they beat Auburn. That's like the surprise team of the season, I think, college football wise.
Like I'm not bugging. Like I'm reading that right? It says L. Fournette.
I think we need to end this. I think we're bugging. It does say L. Fournette. They probably have L. Fournette. Who knows, man? All right. So there's not really any NBA or MLB news to talk about today, and we're sure as hell not talking about hockey. I don't think that's gonna pretty much ever
be super into hockey.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. You learn new things by your friends.
I used to play.
Huh.
Yeah, pond hockey in North Jersey.
You know, the more you know.
Like you just like shovel out a rink. Pretty fun times.
Okay, so I think we're gonna end this one.
Closing thoughts.
Guys.
Talk about battle rap again.
No, we're not. Nope. I think we'll probably see you guys hopefully Wednesday. We're aiming at, and by you guys, I know we're talking to ourselves right now. We're gonna see ourselves Wednesday, and we're gonna do another one probably, because I want to talk about my baseball playoff predictions before the games. I mean, there's gonna be the wild card game Wednesday for the Yankees and the Athletics, but I want to do my baseball predictions. Maybe there'll be more NBA news. We won't miss Thursday night football. It was pretty solid. So we're gonna end this now. We're not talking about battle rap. We're gonna ignore that. We're gonna go nope, and then you're gonna end this. So bye.
If just like one person tweets me saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, on Twitter at Wade M Chadwick." Yeah, we can talk. We can talk about battle rap.
Or one person comments on like the YouTube video or on the website. Well, that's not another person. That's you. So let's end it.
But Loaded Lux was my profile picture.
Signing off.
So like that's like kind of two people.
Bye.